Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Microsoft 365 Cost Optimization, Licensing, Storage, and Beyond. My name is Vlad Catrinescu. I'm Syskic's Technical Evangelist and a Microsoft MVP from Montreal, Canada. Also here with me are Philip and Marion, who will be showing you different demos of Syskic throughout today's presentation. Now, most of you already know Syskit as a company, but for those of you who don't, let me briefly introduce you. Syskit is a software development company founded more than 15 years ago. We currently have more than 3,500 customers around the world, ranging from small businesses to large corporations. Our flagship product, Syskit Point, is a scalable platform that helps you simplify your M365 visibility, governance, and security. Whether you need detailed reports, real-time access management actions, optimizing storage usage, or gaining visibility in your Power Platform and agents, Syskit Point has you covered. Before we start with the content, let me cover some of the boring but important housekeeping items. All registrants will receive a recording of the webinar within a few days, usually even faster. And during today's presentation, Philip and Myron will have short demos on how Syskit Point can help you optimize your Microsoft 365 storage and licensing costs. We will, of course, have a Q&A session at the end. Don't let me do a monologue for 1 hour, so please ask some questions. Let's get those answered. So you'll have the Q&A function on the right side of the screen to ask the questions throughout the webinar. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker. Well, that's myself. We already did most of the introduction, but I'm super happy to be here. I'm an M365 MVP from Montreal, Canada. Been an MVP for 12 years now, I think. And I think this today, especially after all the licenses and extra costs that Microsoft has been announcing over the past few years, I think today's webinar is one that I'm really excited about on how we can actually save some costs or at least not waste money on useless things on Microsoft licensing and put that money into better uses. So now let me go ahead and take over the screen so we can get started. There we go. Let me just double check. It should be the right one. I'll just assume it is. But let's start by talking about licensing. Now, I'm sure most of you know how licensing works, but just a quick recap. So M365 is a software as a service offering, no servers to install or deploy. You simply buy the license and you are ready to go. What makes M365 amazing is, and complicated, especially when it comes to licensing, is that we have multiple license options, and each with different things included. We have M365 licenses, Office 365 licenses. We have some that are standalone. We have some that are add-ons and more. And licensing is per user per month, and sometimes it has a yearly commitment. So you look at M365 Copilot, for example, you can pay it per month, but it's always a yearly commitment. So you cannot just buy it for a single month. Now, a question that a lot of organizations have is, do we overpay for licensing? And what does overpaying for licensing mean? Because it can have different definition for different people. It is, first of all, do you even know how many licenses do you pay for in total? Are they all assigned? And is everyone using all the services in their license? Because um, a lot of the times we want to just, buy the big license that covers everything, that has it all. But if the user doesn't need certain features, why do we buy them the M365 E5 license? Would they be good enough with an E3 or maybe an Office 365 E5 where we can save some money? So there are multiple things that we can analyze in order to improve our licensing costs. And I'll be honest, a lot of enterprises didn't care as much about this because they used to just buy a ton of licenses just to hit those volume discount quotas. And but stuff changed in 2025. Microsoft did a blog post which has the really fancy title here: Microsoft Online Services Pricing Consistency Update. And this sounds really professional. This sounds like nothing is big, but if we take a look at the actual how everybody interpreted it, and I liked this title from CIO online, Microsoft ends volume pricing, potentially costing companies millions. You see, what a lot of you know how sales works. What a lot of companies did is they negotiated with Microsoft, said, "Hey, you know what? If instead of buying 500 Microsoft 365 E5, we buy 750, and we already lock them in right away instead of buying monthly when we have new summer interns or temporary workers. We just lock it in on an enterprise agreement for a couple of years. Will you give us a discount?" And they hit those numbers, and then bam, you get a discount. And a lot of organizations had many unused licenses, but they pre-bought those licenses in order to get those volume discounts. However, starting on November 1st, and I'm saying starting on November 1st is for all of you that are on an old enterprise agreement, it will only be applying starting with your next negotiation. When it's time to renew your licenses, there will not be volume pricing anymore. So everybody, at least in theory, will pay the same price for an E5, whether you buy 10 of them, whether you buy 1,000 of them. So many organizations are now saying, okay, well, if I'm going to pay full price, now it's time to actually go ahead and optimize. Now it's actually, I'm only going to buy the ones that are needed. I'm not going to buy them just for having many of them anymore. So how do we optimize our license usage? Now, this is something that Microsoft gives us a few reports out of the box, a few places to look. It doesn't necessarily give us all of the answers we are looking for, but I will show you everything. So we're going to start from the M365 Admin Center, and then under billing, we will go to licenses. Now, of course, in my demos today, I will be a global admin. I have access to everything. You might not have access to all of them in your tenant, but at least you'll know what is available. So from here, I can see what are all of the different licenses that I'm paying for in my tenant. You can see, for example, some of them I'm really good at. I have M365 Teams Enterprise. I'm paying for 5 of them. I'm using 5 of them. That is good. Same thing for, come on, load back, Entra ID, Power Automate Premium. So a lot of them, all of them are assigned at least. But one of them here in particular, look at my tenant here. So I'm paying for 25 Microsoft 365 Copilot licenses, but I have only assigned 4 of them. So now if I open my very advanced calculator app here, if I do 21 licenses that are not assigned times $30 times 12, I'm wasting $7,560 in this tenant every single year for licenses that, again, users cannot even use them because I haven't even assigned them to users. Now, of course, don't worry, I don't have that much money to throw at Microsoft as much as I'm an MVP and I love them. Luckily, those I get as an MVP, so I'm not directly paying for them. But still, the number of companies that we see that have Copilot licenses, that have other licenses that do not even have them assigned is so big. And right now I'm in a 4-person tenant, but imagine if it was 100 licenses, 1,000 licenses that are not assigned, the potential cost savings that could happen. So seeing licenses that are not assigned, that is the easiest way to be like, wait, why do we pay for them and not even assign them to our users? Next up, we can also take a look at usage analytics. And like I said, when we take a look at different uh, licenses, the flexibility that Microsoft has in the past, and I'll just go to Marketplace here so we can take a look at some of them. Uh, a lot of organizations have been over licensing users. Uh, is it F1 license here? Let's search for it. And they even had, field workers that log in once a month or just check the intranet on SharePoint and need a small mailbox, small OneDrive for Business. Don't even need a Windows license. They had them on E5s because of that minimum license requirement to get volume discounts. But if you take a look at it, a lot of your field workers could very well be on an F1 license. And in this tenant, I have it in Canadian dollars, so it will look a bit weird. But you see, I can have Microsoft 365 F1 licenses for my field workers as low as $2.50 a month, which still gives them an Entra ID. It gives them I can, if I want, I can even add purview, things like that, and it will still be way cheaper than an M365 E5. And now, of course, a lot of it, figuring out who needs what, will depend on your org chart. Some of the times it's easy. It's, part-time workers and people in the field need field licenses. That's always easy to do. But when it comes to understanding whether we need a M365 E5 or M365 E3, that can get a bit more complicated. One of the reports you have, so you can take a look at usage inside your tenant, is under reports here, we have usage, and here are my M365 usage reports. Now, of course, in this tenant, well, everything looks really bad because it's me, myself, and I in this demo tenant, but you can see what are your active users for Exchange, OneDrive, SharePoint. If you want to, now you see by default, it will not show the usernames of people that are using it. However, if you're a global admin and your regulations allow you to, I'm not going to open that Pandora box on regulations, whether you're allowed to or not, but you could actually display the actual usernames in here, and you can see, hey, when's the last time that they used SharePoint or Exchange or any of the other, let me go back to overview, or any of the other tools over here. Email, if you have OneDrive, SharePoint, Office, Microsoft Forms, Viva Learning, Viva Insights. Again, Viva is an add-on license, so that can be a really interesting one to take a look at and see, hey, do they need a Viva license add-on, and so on. There are, of course, other optimizations you can do. So I'll give a few examples. Now that SharePoint Advanced Management is included in M365 Copilot, sometimes you'll have the choice. Do we buy SharePoint Advanced Management for over 1,000 users, which would be $3 per user per month, or do we buy one single M365 Copilot license for the whole organization? And as Microsoft seems to be playing quite a lot with licensing right now, so they get more companies using Copilot licenses. Last week at Ignite, the knowledge agent, and I'm still not 100% clear on how exactly it will work, so don't ask too many questions on that. I'm hoping to, when I go to ESPC next week, I'm hoping to get more clarity. But they did set the knowledge agent that includes autofill columns, things like that, will be included with an M365 Copilot license. So if you use autofill columns and other pay-as-you-go things, just having one Copilot license in your tenant might save you a lot of money. Okay, in addition to those reports, we also have the M365 usage analytics. And this one here, I actually have sample data. This way I have a bit more things to show you guys, because if not, it would be boring with my tenant. You can see the usage. You can see, for example, here on the activation and licensing, you can see the licenses that are assigned over time. for each different SKU inside your organization. You can see how many activated users you have, and you can also see by product. And you can see this is pretty old. It hasn't been, because it hasn't been refreshed in here, sample data. It still has Skype for Business and Yammer. But you'll be able to take a look. Are people actually using the services inside our tenant? Are there any people that we might be able to, give them a lower cost license and they would still be able to get the same job done? And of course, we also have community reports. Now, there are a few of them. I'll show you this one over here, and I'll make sure to put the link in the slides and also in the description of the video on demand on YouTube and in the email. But there are many reports there that you can run that can give you things like this one here. So, for example, you have the M365 license usage report. I ran it yesterday. It shows me my licenses, how many are used, how many of them are unused. And you see here, it even shows me, okay, in red, what are all the ones that are unused. So if I have Visio client here, that it's a trial, but I'm paying for 25, I'm only using 1. I have my Copilot, I'm paying for 25, I'm only using 4. The disadvantage with some of those community reports is there used to be another one that I used to run published by somebody else, but I tried to rerun it just to use that one for this webinar, but it actually didn't work because those scripts are, community based. Somebody put them on the internet, not necessarily maintained. But this is something that, again, is really cool. You can even see things such as inactive licensed users. So users that have licenses assigned but haven't successfully signed in for 90 plus days. That can be really important to know. Over licensed privileged users. So do you have admin accounts that you assign licenses to that you shouldn't? So things like that you can have in reports. Again, the problem as well with those reports is that it gives you the right information, but maybe too much of it. Here it says that I have 30,000 unused licenses, but that's because some of the, Power Automate free gives you 10,000 licenses. Power Pages virtual viral trial for makers gives me 10,000. Power Apps Developer gives me 10,000, which they're not real licenses you pay for. It's just, part of the dev programs and things like that. So you don't have a way to just exclude them and get the real data. You always have to filter a bit more and find the data that matters most. So for licensing, we are a bit limited, but again, 3 things to check. Check how many assigned licenses you have from the M365 Admin Center. Check if your users are using everything. Look at your org chart and make sure, check if people could do the same job they do today, but with a lesser license that can save you money. So that can also be interesting to check. And you have the usage analytics in the M365 Admin Center in Power BI. So this is the free M365 usage analytics app, as well as community reports. And you'll have the link to this particular one when you get the slides and everything. But again, I'm not saying this is the best. I'm not saying this is not the best. It's just one example report. But now, while I get a quick glass of water, don't forget to submit your questions for the Q&A. But before that, I'll turn things over to Philip, who will show us really quick how SysKit can help you have a clear visibility into M365 licenses across services and departments. And after that, I'll come back to storage. But for now, Philip, I'll let you take it over.
So thanks, Vlad, for the introduction, and thanks for a really useful introduction to the world of licensing. I'm Philip. I'm the product manager here at SysKit, and I'm just going to show you a quick way of how you can achieve some of the things that Vlad talked about right now in SysKit Point. So what you can see on the screen here is the SysKit Point home dashboard, which shows you the overview of a lot of important metrics regarding your tenant. And if we look at this little section right here, we can see the number of licenses that we have purchased. We can also see the number of those licenses that are active, the number that is unassigned, and the number that is assigned to users who haven't been active for a while. And if we click this view all, this view all link right here, this is going to open up the license overview report, which is going to show you all of the licenses that you have in your tenant. Now, this is just the environment for the demo purposes, so we don't have that many licenses here, but I'm sure that you possibly have a much larger list right here. And as you can see, this shows both the free and the paid licenses, but if you want to see just the ones that you are purchasing, if you want to see how you can cut costs, you can simply select the drop down here and select paid licenses. And now you're looking at only the licenses that you are actually paying money for. This shows you the overview of what licenses you have, how many units, how many does each license cost. And this allows you to also see the total cost and the potential savings, because you can also see how many of those licenses are assigned, unassigned, or assigned to inactive users. You can also export this report if you want to analyze it further or combine it with some other data to PDF or Excel. And you can also schedule this report to generate on a regular basis if you need it. Now, let's go back to the home dashboard once again. And below this, what we just saw, we can see the annual cost for all of our licenses. And we can also see how much we can save by removing inactive users who have licenses. And if we click this little number right here, 35, that says reclaim inactive licenses, this is going to open up the inactive users with assigned licenses report, which shows all users that had no tenant login for the number of days that you can define yourself. This shows both inactive users and the ones that have blocked sign-in. And here you can see that the licenses are grouped by each user. So you can select the license for a user if you want to remove it. If a user has multiple licenses, you can also select only some of them to remove it, or you can just select all of them, or you can just say, I want to delete everything from this list, and you simply click remove licenses here on the right, and that's going to remove the license from those users. Now, let's go to the report center here on the left. And let me just, we have a lot of reports here, but let's just filter out those regarding the licensings. And if we look at the license distribution report that I want to show you right here, this is going to show you all of the licenses that are grouped by certain data information. And you can group them by department, usage location, or country or region. Let's leave it by department right now. And if we run the report, you can see all of the licenses by each department. You can see how many licenses are assigned to each department, how many the cost for each department, and also how many inactive users there are, which means how many licenses you can save by removing them from those users. This is something that can help you really see how the distribution of your licenses go across the company. And this also allows you to easily see how many of them are assigned, are unassigned, and also to easily rectify potential waste, which is some of the things that Vlad talked about right now. Now, I just want to go over another case where you can also achieve potential savings, and that is regarding add-on licenses. That is licenses that are assigned but not actively used, and the most popular add-ons are Power BI, Visio, and Copilot. And this is important because according to our research, over 90% of Visio licenses are unused. And since most companies have fewer Copilot licenses than some other, if they are not being used, they're being wasted, like we also saw in Vlad's demo. So those are the licenses that are not that are assigned to users but are not being used, which means that they could potentially be assigned to somebody else, or maybe it's a signal that you don't need that license. Now, this is something that is not currently available in Cisco Point, but this is something that is coming in the near future, along with improved reports for everything that I've shown you so far. You can also track unused add-on licenses for Power BI, Visio, and Copilot, and also you will be able to identify and remove redundant licenses. And with that, I'm going to bring it back to Vlad. I hope he has managed to get a glass of water and that I wasn't too quick with my presentation.
Right on time. I love the I love the fact that you see the actual number and cost, and I feel like a lot of people, especially when you tell to management, hey, we can save 10 licenses, nobody really cares that much. But when you put, hey, we can save $10,000, then we care a lot more. So I love that we have the number on there. Okay, now let's move on to storage. Um, Storage is a tough topic. So again, I just want to cover the basics, make sure that we are all on the same page on how storage gets built at Microsoft. Uh, with In M365, we basically have two places where we have storage. We have SharePoint, which the included storage, called the pool storage, will depend on the number of licensed users in your tenant, with the ability to purchase additional one. And for OneDrive for Business, you have unlimited individual cloud storage. You need to have minimum 5 licenses to get that. And there are a few technical limitations, but I'm sure most of you in this webinar have more than 5 licenses. So let's focus on SharePoint Online. So I already said that the total storage per organization depends on the number of licensed users. And unlike many of the things Microsoft is doing right now, it's a simple mathematical formula. Everybody starts at 1 terabyte, and then you get 10 gigs for each license purchased. That gives access to SharePoint Online. However, not field workers. So field worker licenses do not grant that 10 gig license increase. So if we do a quick math test, if we have 200 users, and I hope not everybody quit when I said math test, you start with the 1 terabyte plus the 10 gigs times 200, and then you get about 3 terabytes. And I did put about, I know we're not gonna do the whole calculation, whether it's 1,000 or 1024 here. We'll just say it's about 3 terabytes of content. But what if you need more? Because too many organizations didn't have a problem when they migrate to the cloud. Then they started hoarding storage, and now, well, they need more. So the way that it works today is you need to purchase an add-on called Office 365 Extra File Storage. And the way that it's licensed is basically 20 cents USD per gig per month. So that's how much you pay. And you need to pre-plan it. So it's not like, today. You cannot just be like, just pay the extra depending on the month, things like that. You actually need to go purchase the add-on. And if ever you want to buy less, you have to go in your licenses and buy less. So it's not very flexible. However, last week, because Microsoft, of course, wanted to make sure I update my slides, they actually announced that we will have pay as you go starting in February 2026. So you'll be able to just buy the extra you use for any specific month. It will be variable depending on how much you use. So that honestly is a really cool improvement. But my goal today is let's try not to pay anything. Microsoft makes $1 billion a day. They make enough money. They don't need to make extra money on us because we have additional storage. So now we have two types of reports for storage. And I actually have this tenant over here. So if you go here to your active sites, you're going to start to see the bar here at the top becoming red. And you see over here, I only have 65 gigs left inside my this specific tenant, which is not a lot. And you see I have a red here. I have a warning here. Your storage is almost full. And also from the home of the SharePoint Online Admin Center, if I scroll down a bit, I'm able to see the growth here. You see I had a ton of growth happen around June 15th, where, wow, look how much content arrived into SharePoint. And you also have here, your storage usage has been decreasing, kind of. But you still might run out of storage. Make sure you closely monitor and manage usage. So they do tell you if you're on track to actually uh, used too much. And you do have a view to view the largest sites. I can see this one here. This one has 737 gigs. Wow, quite a lot. Of course, you can also create your own reports with PowerShell. So I have this beautiful PowerShell commandlet in the slide where I can see all the different sites that I have depending on their storage. If I was really fancy, I could put this into maybe Fabric, maybe in SQL database or a SharePoint list, but we won't tell that to the Power Platform people. And then have a Power BI report that shows me the growth per site so I can take a look at anomalies. So that is the reporting. But how do we cut down on storage costs? There are four main things that I want to talk about. Deleting inactive content, that for me is the main cause. Uh, and I know some of you, and not you specifically, but your organization might not want to delete stuff. A lot of organizations are a bit of digital hoarders where they like to keep stuff forever. We can archive inactive content that you don't want to delete. So this way, if ever there's content that is inactive, but you don't want to pay full price on it, you can archive it in security, knowing that you can always bring it back with just one click. You can also cut down on versions that you do not need anymore. And finally, control site storage before it gets out of control, where you have like me, where everything was fine and then bam, one site just went up and took all the storage in my tenant. So how do we do it? First of all, and I just wanted to show you this in this tenant, don't need it anymore. First thing we can do here is we talked about deleting inactive content. So if I go here to there we go, under policies. Maybe instead of water, Philip, I should have drank a bit of coffee because I'm not finding my way around the SharePoint admin center anymore. I don't know what's happening. I need an extra shot of espresso in the next break. But we have this thing here called inactive site policies. So inactive site policies allow us to create a policy that will take a look at what are all the inactive sites in my tenant. And it doesn't only look at standalone SharePoint sites, so it will look at connected SharePoint sites as well. So it will look at Teams activity, Viva Engage activity, Exchange activity, of course, visits, edits, or file actions. So it takes a look at the full collaboration workspace. And then let me just say, hey, select sites at scale. I'll select all of them. I'll just do next. I can even say, okay, how long after the last activity should a site be considered inactive? And that will, again, depend on your organization. I'll leave it at 3 months. And it will notify the owners or the admins. Again, depending on how you have your provisioning system set up, they might be different people. And you can also take an enforcement. So after 3 notifications, so imagine that if you set it after 3 months, then it will send a monthly notification. So after 6 months, what do you want to do? Do you want to put it in read only? Or, well, you can also do nothing and then just have the report and you decide what you do with it after. But the cool thing is you can put it in read only, or you can even put them into Microsoft 365 archive. But how this works if you put it in archive from here, so we have 3 months until it's considered inactive. We will send 3 months of notifications, then another 3 months of read-only period, and then we put it into archive. So this is a good way to kind of, have that continual maintenance, but it's not a good way like, hey, we need to cut costs down tomorrow. Because this is, again, a very good process, very natural, but it's not good if you want to save money right away. So this is for deleting inactive content. And I keep talking about archive. Let's cover archive a little bit. And let me show this. Well, you know what? I'll show you the slide after. Archive with Microsoft 365, what it allows you to do is it allows you to basically put a full SharePoint site into cold storage. So I can pick any site that I want here. I'll pick this one over here. and then I will go archive it. Now let's click on archive over here, confirm, great. What happens is this will now show into archived sites over here. And you see there's a difference. This one that I archived it a long time ago, it's archived. This one is recently archived. So if this one I want to bring it back, it's like instant, and I can see the storage used and everything for each site. Now, the beautiful thing about having a site into archive is that we already mentioned that if we keep content in SharePoint as an active site, it costs us 20 gigs per month, 20 cents per gig per month. However, if we put the content that's over the limit into archive, it's 5 US cents per gig per month. So we're saving 75% of costs to put inactive sites that we don't want to delete just to put them into M365 archive. So that can be big savings. And since March of this year, there are no restore costs anymore. So, like let's say before that, if ever I wanted to restore this old site here, I would have to pay. But now if I want to reactivate it here, it will not cost me a single cent. The only limitation that I have, and let me go back to the slides here, it was there as well. I cannot re-archive it for 4 months. So I cannot restore it from archive, take one file, and then put it back into archive and be like, haha, Microsoft, I only paid for 1 day of storage. No, you have to keep it active for 4 months. But still, at the end of the day, because there's no more restore costs, there's zero risks of using Microsoft 365 Archive. The only side effect is you saving money. So if there are sites that you know are inactive, but you don't want to delete them, you can go ahead and put them into M365 Archive. And I'll go to this nice slide by Microsoft. Another benefit here about putting stuff into archive is that it removes it from the Copilot semantic index, which is really cool because a lot of organizations are having trouble that old content is appearing inside Copilot, but that's just because they have inactive content they don't want to delete. M365 Archive can solve that, where I can have inactive content that I keep, I'll put it into archive, and then it won't take long. Let me do refresh here, see if it reactivated. You see, it can take anywhere from a few minutes to max a few hours. I've only seen it take a few minutes, and then the site is back live. Permissions are intact, metadata is intact, is as if it never got archived. So that is quite amazing. I also want to say, and you'll see I put it here in the title of the slide, but I want to be clear with it. There are no reactivation costs for M365 Archive in SharePoint. If you do that with OneDrive for Business content, there are some reactivation costs, but there are none for SharePoint. Awesome. Next up, let's talk, and I'll go back to the slides here a bit, about version control. A lot of organizations just keep the default versioning settings, and we usually keep too many versions around. But what if we could automatically trim old versions? And Microsoft gives us 2 options here. Let me go here to settings. Let me go to version history limits. We can go to manual. So we can say, you know what, only keep 250 versions as an example, or delete versions after 6 months. However number you have, only keep the last one after 6 months. I can do that, or I can go into automatic mode. Now, automatic mode is actually really cool, and it's not that complicated. I know Microsoft calls it an algorithm, and I'm sure they're going to find a way to talk about AI with it, but it's actually pretty cool. So how it works is that in the first 30 days of a file, all versions created within the 500 count are kept. So as long as you have 500, all of them are kept for the first 30 days. After that, between the 30 to 60-day period, it will only keep 1 version per hour. So it won't keep every single one that you auto-saved every 5 minutes. If you're like me, you save every 5 minutes because you've had a document crash on you a while ago, and now it's a reflex. So between 30 and 60 days, we'll keep max 1 version per hour. Then 60 to 180 days, we will keep 1 version per day. And after 180 days, we will keep 1 version a week, up to the maximum of 500. So if document has been changed every week for 500 weeks, you'll still have 500 versions, but you're not going to have, a single file that has been modified 500 times in 30 days and then never ever touched again, still keep those 500 versions. So I really find that it adds a nice balance to, to having the 500 hard limit where you might lose an early version from week 1 just because you hit the 500 limit, or the manual expiration where after 3 months it just gets automatically deleted, all the versions. This one adds more balance in between where you're still going to keep an important, like a good amount of versions that you can restore to, but in an intelligent way. So I find that really cool, and you can configure it from the SharePoint Admin Center. And there's also PowerShell commandlets with it. Now, the last point we had there on our 4-point plan is managing SharePoint storage. So we don't have the problem where one specific site takes too much storage. And in SharePoint, we have 2 different ways to manage it. We have automatic and manual. And again, you configure this inside your settings over here. You can have site storage limits. The automatic one basically gives every single site 25 terabytes, and you deal with it. If you ever max out on your storage, you have to figure out which site is more, which one takes up all the storage, or you can set manual limits for each site. So if you have a provisioning solution, this can be really interesting because you can say, you know what, every single site starts with 200 gigs. If ever you need more than 200 gigs, open a ticket with IT and we'll evaluate your request and give you more if needed. So it can allow you to have a bit more of a controlled growth. And then if you go to the site here, you go to a specific site, you'll be able to say what is the maximum storage for this site and email owners when they reach, let's say, 98%. Or again, 98% of 10 gig might be too late, but if it's 98% of 1 terabyte, it should give them enough time to take action. So those are the 4 points, 4 strategies I wanted to share with you about storage. Now, again, if you have questions about storage, please put them into the Q&A session. But for now, I'll go take that shot of espresso. And I'll hand things over to Marin, who will show you how SysKit can help optimize your M365 storage cost by analyzing OneDrive and SharePoint usage. Marin, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Vlad, and hello, everyone. My name is Marin, and I'm an engineering team lead here at SysKit. I'd like to give you a quick demo of SysKit Point, focusing on the storage tile and explaining how SysKit Point storage management feature can help you achieve significant cost savings. So, storage tile shows how much of your storage capacity is currently in use. But what is more important for this demo, it highlights the storage space saved by using SysKit Point along with the potential additional savings. These savings can be fully realized by running our cleanup actions, which I'll demonstrate later on. So once I click on Cleanup, our well-known storage metrics report appears. It provides a comprehensive overview of the storage used across the tenant and allow us to track storage consumption over time and helps us identify the largest sites. There are predefined views that highlight which sites have experienced the most growth over different time periods, as well as which ones have the highest potential savings by different criteria. So let's take a look at the sites with highest potential savings by the number of versions and explore what actions we can take there. So let's select this and select the sales and marketing site. So by clicking on the site, we gain detailed insight into how storage is being used, broken down by specific files and file types. We can check the site storage trend. Okay, here it is almost constant. And what is more important, we have this potential savings here on file versions cleanup. So, okay, if we click on one of those cleanup actions, dialog with details regarding cleanup is shown with an option of permanently deleting file versions. If we want the storage to be freed immediately, we have to select the checkbox. And once I type cleanup and hit cleanup button, action will start executing and all the file versions will be removed. Keeping track of the file versions manually is time consuming. However, with Syskit Point, it is possible to do it automatically by setting versioning limit per site. Versioning limits can be applied by setting up a rule in the settings or manually with clicking on set version limit action. Storage versioning limit basically tells SharePoint how many file versions to keep or how long to keep them for. Anything older than what you define, whether that's too many versions or versions older than a certain time period, gets cleaned up. It's a simple way to keep your storage fit without any extra work on your end. So when we click on set version limit, a dialog pops up and prompts us to choose which versioning limit we want to apply. Versioning limits can be set up in Syskit Point settings and applied here. We simply pick the option that fits our needs and click on set version limit. The best practice here is to manually clean up everything that has to be cleaned up and then set up versioning limit and apply it to the site. This entire process is fully documented and can be found on our Syskit web, so feel free to explore the documentation for more details. To wrap things up, what we have seen is that customers who fully adopt Syskit Point storage management feature save more money than they actually spend on Syskit Point, often several times more. And the best part is you can easily see these potential savings directly from the storage tile where we began our demo from. A perfect example is our customer OAT group. Their case study, which is also available on our Syskit web, shows that they saved $24,000 in storage costs in under 60 minutes just by using Syskit Point. Their case demonstrates exactly what effective storage management can do. Fast and measurable impact on cost savings. Thank you, and back to you, Vlad. I hope you got yourself espresso.
There we go. I am back. Didn't have time for it, but with 10 minutes left, I'm sure I will find the energy. But we do have 11 minutes left. So we're going to talk about probably the word that all of you have heard way too much in the past year, which is AI. But it's an important one when it comes to managing costs as well. So Microsoft has added a ton of pay-as-you-go offerings, whether it's AI or not. I know I'll focus on AI in here, but Microsoft has added a lot of new pay-as-you-go licenses that we need to manage, and we need to make sure that we manage them well. So Microsoft 365 document processing is one of them. That is AI and pay-as-you-go. I have a pay-as-you-go example that is not AI, which is M365 Backup. And of course, we have our SharePoint and Copilot Studio agents. Now, for those of you that don't know what document processing is in M365, you might know it under its 4 different names in the 4 past years: SharePoint Syntax, Microsoft Syntax, SharePoint Content AI. It changed names. SharePoint Premium is also one of the names it had recently. So it changed names quite a lot, but it includes things such as autofill columns, OCR, image tagging, things like that. And Microsoft did say that pay-as-you-go is better for companies because the more they use it, the more they pay. If they don't use it a month, they don't pay it. They don't pay it for that month. And on the base of it, it makes sense. But I know a lot of organizations are not a big fan of it because we like budgets. We like knowing how much our licenses are going to be for a certain month. So uh, it can be a bit difficult. And until very recently, Microsoft said, well, in Microsoft, we can only have one credit card for the whole company. And we didn't have that much control into the usage of everything. But a lot of the stuff announced at the M365 community conference is now finally available. So departmental billing for M365 backup is now in private preview. They're going to bring departmental billing for autofill columns, for all the stuff in M365 document processing. So you're going to be able to charge back to HR and to marketing the usage that they have. It doesn't all have to come out of IT budgets. We're also soon going to be able to set spending limits and receive alerts for different billing policies. So that is kind of cool. And billing policies are actually available for certain things today. So if we go under Copilot here, we go to billing and usage, we can, once it loads over here, we can create, let's say, HR policy here. It will go to, I can choose some of the Azure subscriptions I want. Does this one have something? There we go here. I already have one in there, but you're going to be able to have multiple subscriptions in Azure with different credit cards, or same credit card if you want, and have different billing policy. And after that, let's see if I can go to this one over here that I already had. Users, I can add, and I'm a bit zoomed in over here. Why doesn't it let me? It's the GoToWebinar hiding everything. But what I can do is I'm able to go ahead and decide what is the budget, what users are assigned to it, and then charge back to those users. So that is already available today, but only for M365 Copilot Chat and SharePoint agents pay as you go. So it's not available for everything yet, but that's the direction Microsoft is going. As you get usage into pay as you go, you're going to have to make the decision. Is it cheaper for some users to use SharePoint agents and Copilot Chat in pay-as-you-go, or is it cheaper for them to have a full M365 Copilot license? So I'll give you an example. Let's say that inside Qiskit, we have Philip that right now is assigned a full M365 Copilot license. That gives you unlimited access to SharePoint agents, to even Copilot Studio agents published in M365 apps, to Copilot Chat, to all of that. But if we look at the analytics, Philip is using Copilot, but maybe for 10 sessions a month, not much. But if we look at Marin is on a pay-as-you-go license for SharePoint agents, for Copilot Chat, for Copilot Studio. But Marin is actually using a lot of it. He's using it, 20 times a day. If we switch those around where we assign that full Copilot license to Marin and then we assign a pay-as-you-go to Philip, they can still both be productive, but we're going to save a ton of money because that heavy usage from Marin that will go into that, fixed $30 per user per month. And even if Philip uses it, just enough to make him productive, which is what we want. But it will only cost us maybe $5, $10 a month instead of having a full M365 Copilot license assigned to him. So those are the kind of decisions we're going to have to make. And I think that we're just beginning to have the tools, the stacks, and everything to get there. But that is something really interesting you should look at. Then we should also talk about Copilot Studio credits. We all know that Agents are taking over the world. Microsoft loves to talk about them. And Copilot Studio also has two different licensing methods. You can either go pay as you go with 1 cent per Copilot credit, or pay $200 per month, get 25,000 of them, or have a mix. And again, for the one on the right, the Copilot credit pack, you would save $50 a month, which for some enterprises, it might be a lot. For some of them, it might not be a lot. Of course, when we scale the usage to 100,000 users, and we're talking millions of credit per month, it makes a huge difference. And again, we don't have time to do a full Copilot Studio licensing talk, because only that could take 20 minutes. But remember that agents and credits can rack up really fast. So for example, text and generative AI tools premium response for 10 responses is 100 Copilot credits. So it's 10 cents per response. If somebody's using that on pay-as-you-go, it can rack up those charges really, really fast. There are a few ways to control it, just to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. We can go to the Power Platform Admin Center. And by the way, just for the fun of it, we always use aka.ms/ppac to get to the admin center. Somebody at Microsoft had fun, so you can now just write 2pac, and it will bring you to the same thing in the aka.ms. So just thought that you should know that funny shortcut. Anyway, if I go here to licensing, I go to Copilot Studio. Here I can see, okay, how many credits I have. I'll zoom out a bit. You see here, I have my Copilot credits capacity, which is 25,000. Something you should definitely do to make sure you manage them properly. First of all, for every Power Platform environment, you can go ahead and limit the credits for that specific environment. So let's say here, HR gets 2,000 credits a month. This way, we don't have somebody in HR that goes, creates an agent, shares it on a public website with people that shouldn't, and then bam, it takes all the credits from all the organization. So that's something that you should definitely do. You can also go into manage agents here, and then go into some of the agents that are more popular if you want to, and then you can set individual limits per agent. So let's say this agent cannot consume more than 1,000 credits per month. Again, it will adapt to your usage. It's going to be tough for the first few months to know what is normal, what is not, especially with the spike at the beginning as everybody wants to try it. But you should definitely go and set the limits appropriately. Now, okay, so we covered quite a lot in this session. Now, Philip, Marin, I will get you back, and let me remove the screen here, and let's take a look at some of the sessions some of the questions that we have. So let me go open up the question pane here. I looked at them really quick. There were some good ones. So first of all, great question from Lucas here. And this is for M365 Archive. Does just content that's over the limit cost 5 cents, or is it for every content in Archive, even when I'm not over the storage limit? So that is a really good point, Lucas. I did put it in the slides there, but I didn't mention it verbally. You can start putting content in Archive for free as long as you're not over your SharePoint Online pooled storage limit. So as long as you're not over that limit, you can put stuff in there for absolutely free. You will not get charged. You will only get charged for stuff that's over your pooled storage limit. So go ahead, start using Archive right away, even if you're not at the limit yet. Get in the habit of using it, and it will take you way longer until you have to pay. Question for Marin, I think, for this one. With Qiskit, are the prices based on our current RFP from Microsoft, or is it generic prices for that license?
That's more my forte. So our goal is to provide you default prices from Microsoft, but you have the ability to add your own custom prices. So if you have another price that is different from the default pricing, you can change that in the application, and then it's going to update all of the calculations for the potential savings and how much savings you actually achieve with the app.
That's awesome. So it's default by default, but you can customize it with whatever prices you get. I love it.
Exactly.
Okay, then another question for either one of you. Does the remove license work for group-based license assignments? Oh, this is a tougher one.
Yeah, another one for me. So at the moment, Cisco Point can only remove licenses if they are applied directly to the user. But group-based licensing is something that we are going to be likely working on as the next step in evolving this, everything that we've shown you today. So this is not something that's currently available, but it's something that is in the works.
Awesome. Okay, one for me now. Does archive include file versions or just the current version of the file? It includes whatever you had there when you put it into archive. So it just takes the snapshot of the site, puts it into cold storage. If you have 10 versions, it will be 10 versions. If you had one version, it will be one version. So it's the exact same site. And finally, I know we're over time, but we do have a really great point over here from Steven, who says, I have found that business premium is so underrated, and so many businesses that have under 300 users can save so much money using it without going to the enterprise licenses. So if you're under 300 users, definitely look at it. At Ignite, I think last week or maybe a few days before, even M365 Copilot, if you're on a business license, you can get Copilot for $21 per user per month instead of $30. And now we have the Purview add-on. So you can, if you're under 300 seats, you can have all your enterprise Purview features. You can have Copilot for less. So definitely something that you should look at. If you're under 300 users, you can save a lot of money that way. Thank you, Stephen. That is such a great comment and great feedback for everybody. But as we are over time, I think we're going to respect everyone's time. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on today's webinar. As we mentioned, everyone who registered will receive a recording. Thank you to Marin, thank you to Philip for the awesome demos, great insights as well. And for everybody, if you have any further questions regarding Cisco Point, please reach out to us at sales@cisco.com, and it's going to be a pleasure to have one of us answer to you all. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in the next webinar.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.